Hello, welcome to another Eagle 6 video. Today we're going to be taking apart the front end assembly from the M4 MWS gas blowback rifle. The reason we're taking apart the front end today is so we can get access to the inner barrel and the hop unit assembly. Okay, we're going to start by removing the upper receiver and the front end. We'll just take that off as one piece, then we'll be able to work on that separate of the lower part of the gun, which will be easier, especially since it's on camera. So we'll start by popping the takedown pin and the front pivot pin here, or frame pin. We're going to do this. What we do is push through. Should be fairly loose. Just pop this on the front here. Just pull, and it lifts up like that. You take down, your pivot pin at the front here should just push through. It just seems easier to push through when it's at this angle like this. Both of these pins can lift through and they can catch onto these little stoppers or detent pins. Once they're stuck on them, you can then just remove the lower to one side, put it over there, and we can more easily work on our upper. So we're doing this today because we want to get access to the, we'll show you how to get access to the inner barrel and the hop unit, but this also works for if you're just doing some front end stuff and need to know how to disassemble the top section of your MWS. So we'll just pull out the charge handle here, back there, and then it pulls, as the charge handle pulls back, it just pulls back the bolt as well. If it feels like it's getting stuck, that's because the actual loading nozzle here is actually just stuck into the hop unit like that. So just yank it until it comes out, and then you can slide out the bolt and the charge handle, and it just for refitting just fits over like that, and the whole thing slides back in. So now we have our front end, and you can see in here the second part of the hop unit, which has the dial on it and this little buffer here, and then it's got levers. This, so we'll call this the second lever, which operates the first lever, which is in the front part of the hop unit. So you can see here, I'll show you on camera. There's two, so this lever has to be up on top of the other lever. Okay, so when you're refitting, we just have to, and this is the main reason we take this upper off rather than leave the whole thing on, apart from the fact that it's now lighter, is that we have to make sure that that's in the right position when we're refitting the hop unit. Okay, so we'll probably cover that on reassembly, but it's something worth pointing out if you're just skipping this, just watching this portion of the video then skipping the rest. Right, so we'll remove the flash hider. Which twists clockwise. There's no Allen screw, grub screw on this one holding it on. It's just one of the screw-on types. So we've got the flash hider, and we've got the collar. Notice the orientation of that with the flat side towards the flash hider. Underneath we have an O-ring. As those taken off. So we'll remove the rails now. So we've got one Allen key there, 2.5, I believe. We'll just undo that. Little button head screw. And we can pull this back. We'll lift off the bottom. And we can lift off the top. Just by pulling back the ring here. Okay, so the actual, to get access to remove this second hop unit, we need to remove this gas tube here because it's blocking the hole where the screw is. You might be able to get away without it, but for the purpose of this video I'm going to show you how to do everything, so that if you do need to pull this hop unit backwards and then forwards in order to get that lever into the correct position to operate the hop unit correctly, then you'll have the knowledge to do that. So we can remove this front triangle sight here, and that will pull the whole gas tube all the way through. So as per the TM manual, we want to hit our pins through this one and this one. We want to knock them through from left to right. Okay, so if you're ever curious about which direction to hit the pins through, always check your manual. A lot of pins have little hashed edges on one side, and in order to, if you were to try and hit that all the way through, you'd end up needing to replace it probably, because it'd just be loose from then onwards. So we'll just use a little pin punch. See, there's the little hash bits. We'll put these pins to one side. So underneath here's another grub screw. I think this is 1.5. Allen key. Okay, and we'll pop that to one side. Okay, so now we can slide our thing. If you want to remove the gas tube, there's just one little pin there. Okay, you can pop that out, and then that will pull out the gas tube. But we don't really need to for this. And then we'll just slide the collar out. That's the orientation there. Obviously, pointing that way towards the rails. Right, okay, so we have our, this is like a sleeve that holds all the delta ring assembly in place. So we've got one screw here. You're going to need quite a large Phillips screwdriver for this one, so I normally use this size for pretty much every Tokyo Marui screw that's Phillips, but you're going to need a much larger one. Otherwise you're potentially going to round this off. Same thing goes with the soft mod M4. Put that screw to the side, slide the sleeve down and off. Next we have the ring. these little spring washers. Okay, now what we'll do next, we'll take off the circlip. You don't actually need to take off this circlip. You can just unscrew this castle nut here without taking it off. The castle nut will just spin inside this circlip. But I'll show you how to take it off, just in case you do want to take it off. You need these circlip pliers. I got them from Alfred's. Just put them in these little holes. And squeeze. And just pull the circlip off. So game of operation. Pop that to the side. Right, so next what we're going to do is take off this castle nut. Bring our little thing back. So for the castle nut we're going to use the M4 Recoil Shock Series barrel wrench tool. Not the stock part, just the barrel bit. So it's the perfect size for this one. It comes off anti-clockwise, so in this particular instance we're going to be hitting left. So when you use your left hand, or depending if you're right-handed or left-handed, you want to brace this tool, because obviously you don't want it to ping off and scratch anything, and then you just want to try and do like one side hit, just to crack off any Loctite or anything like that that's on there. So once it's loose, and then just spin it off, or use the tool to undo it, whichever way you need to. We just undo the nut and slide that off, and then the barrel, you might find this is a little tight. Just yank it and that will come out, okay? Then we can see here the first part of the hop unit with the first lever, and then the conical spacer there. Okay, so for demonstration purposes then, I'm going to show you the hop unit removal. So just in case you need to back this out, so just a standard Phillips into this hole here. Just one screw, then the hop unit just slide out. You have it like so. Just be careful with this, don't turn that wheel, because you've got some, you can see the clicker and a clicker spring in there, or you turn that wheel, that's going to go flying. Okay, so just put that to one side. So that's the upper receiver, I don't need him anymore. So now we've got the spacer. You notice the orientation here. We have the notch in line with the this threaded hole here, and obviously sort of the thicker end and smaller end there. And this just presses on. Okay, so we'll slide out the hop unit first. Okay, so the hop unit has got one O-ring there and another one there on the front of it. Now the only things holding this hop unit together, so we'll slide out the inner and this conical. I mean, you can leave it on, I'll show you how to take it off and put it back on in the rebuilding video, reassembly video. So see how we're just sliding that off, and then there's an O-ring behind it. outer barrel. Then the hop unit, there's no screws on this one, so we're just going to slide forward, and that's how we've got two O-rings, one at the front and the identical one just pushed up against this hop unit. So we're just moving down the end there. Then we've got an O-ring here. Which we slide off. Another hop unit comes apart. So just a metal arm there. Notice how the MWS uses a nub like on the AEGs, so it's obviously going to have very good ability to hop heavier ammo, because it's going to come down quite far into the barrel, and it's going to have great stability because this is obviously a fixed arm. So yeah, this is the hop rubber, which you can remove like so, just like gas blowback pistols. It's got the notch on the inside which lines up with this inner barrel, so you can't fit it incorrectly, and then you've got the notch on the actual hop rubber that goes in the notch on the side of the hop unit here, just to make sure that lines up. So there we go. So that is how to get access to the hop unit and the inner barrel if you're going to be changing, like say for instance, the hop rubber and a barrel. And yeah, thank you very much for watching.